Alright, introduction to Maya. This is Maya, and it has a very complex interface. And the best way not to get intimidated by all of these tools is to make your own custom shelf. This is mine at home that I use for advanced, wouldn't say advanced, but I use for intermediate city building. And I will make a custom shelf just for this demo. And this should be good for the spring, the beginning spring semester class for our flying saucers, something simple like that. So I'm going to go over here to settings. So shelf tab settings, create a new shelf. I'm going to name this demo. You can use caps in Maya, so long as the rest of the class that you are joining, class means a folder in programming, so long as the rest of the class you are joining also has caps, so we can do that. And I'm going to do some shopping up here in Maya's menus, which is chock full of goodies. So I am going to hold Command Shift and just do some shopping. Going to the Create menu and choose Polygon Primitives. This is the stuff our models are made of. And I will choose a sphere, a cube, and a cylinder. Click somewhere else to clear that menu. See my sphere, cube, and cylinder. Then go to Mesh Tools. Mesh Tools, and select and insert Edge Loop Tools. This is a tool for carving all those primitives up. Okay, so I am going to select the cube primitive. Yay, and tumble it about. To tumble in Maya, you hold the left mouse button and the Command or Control key. Command key on a Mac, Control on the PC. All right? Now, this is tumbling in the world. This is good for a city. You know, you're tumbling your city. However, if you want to just tumble just one model, you press the F key, which will just take you to the model. You just tumble that instead. I am zooming out right now, and zooming out is the scroll bar. The scroll wheel, the scroll wheel, and holding down the Command key. I'm on a Mac. To pan, you hold down the scroll bar as though it's a button, and with your finger on the Command key, you just scrub from side to side, the whole mouse, holding down the scroll wheel. All right? So that's it for Maya, just an introduction to Maya. Oh, I should show you the orthographic views and the perspective view. Right now, you're in perspective. It is the only view where you can tumble. And you can have more than just one window, too. These are the whole orthographic views, all the orthographic views plus perspective. Perspective tumbles, but in orthographic views, you can't tumble. But you can zoom and you can pan. That's the top. This is the front, and this is the side. Now, if I want to go back to the perspective panel and choose a very specific orthographic view, I hit the space bar, finger on the space bar, and it brings up the pick mask, which is pretty much like, you know, an abridged version of what's all that's up here. So, pick mask, left mouse click, and choose an orthographic view or a new camera. Don't get yourself lost there. We're going to choose the right view. So here's the right view. I'm going to do some panning. And try not to get the key commands confused with Adobe products. That is really easy to do while you're in Maya. Because panning in Adobe, you hold the space bar and the space bar, and I believe you left click and that pans, but not in Maya. That brings up the pick mask. Panning in Maya is the command key and holding down the middle mouse button scroll wheel as though it's a button. So you can do all kinds of fun things here. I might as well change from a cube to a sphere and build our friend the UFO. And I'm going to go to the pick mask and choose the right view by holding down the left mouse button. And zoom out and choose one of the editing tools. Editing topology. Wouldn't say tools, but one of the several ways that you can access a topology on a Maya model. There's the edge. Select the edges. You'll hold down the R key for scale. You can play with that. The faces. These are really good for buildings, making buildings and extruding. They're fun. But what we're going to use is the vertex. And Marquee select. When someone says Marquee select, that means draw a triangle around something. And when you're in Autodesk products or Adobe products, so Marquee select. And I have the scale tool I have the scale tool selected. And I'm gonna uniform scale by selecting that middle square. I want it to go down now. So the move tool, which is the W key, move that down. And I'm going to scale it again. Move it again. There, I'll go back to perspective. Hey, there's my spaceship. It's a flying saucer. Lots of fun to play with. So that is basic Maya. Going to object mode by right-clicking on the model. So I can select the entire model instead of a face, a vertex, or an edge. Right-click again, object mode. This is for selecting the entire model. Might as well go over the tools here. This is a selection tool. Most handy when you are selecting in sub-object mode. Going back to object mode. Ignore these. Those are for organic modeling. We are not going to get into that. For introduction to Maya, that's an intermediate assignment, definitely. Intermediate level. This is the move tool. Left, right, up, down, going towards you. This is Y, X, and Z, if you want to remember your geometry class. Maya uses a lot of mathematical terms, especially in the visual maths terms. So it should help you in those classes so you'd be stuck. This is rotate. Okay. And this is scale. And should you ever get in trouble, especially with that rotate tool, you can always zero everything else out here in its channel box. These are the coordinates. So I want to zero everything. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh, the scale should be 1. Pardon me. Scale 1, 1, 1. Yay! The rabbit's back in the hat. And ready for us to use. Okay, so that's your introduction to Maya and making a very simple model in it and navigating around the place. Name your files.